Hey guys, this is Mrs. Stickler. I'm going to go ahead and run through some of the homework, and I am going to go quite quickly. I'm going to do some 10-minute segments, 10 minutes on each page, so hopefully that'll give you enough information. Now, minor arcs, you're only doing the odds on all of these pages, so I'm going to be doing a lot of the even problems, but in this case that didn't really help you. So the minor arcs would be an arc that's less than 180, and there are a lot of them in here. We know that one arc might be RF. That's a minor arc. That's less than 180. I'm sure that you can see a lot of the others. Like we could say SQ is also a minor arc. I'd like you to give me a minimum of 7 minor arcs here. And, you know, I found at least 8 on the ones that I did. So you should be able to find 7. A major arc, once again, is more than 180 degrees, and we name it with 3 letters. So SQT would be a major arc. I know that you don't have to do those, but I just want you to remember what a major arc is. And then a semicircle, we have a lot of semicircles here. Always look for a diameter when you're finding a semicircle. And remember, we still name it with 3 letters. So we could say we have RQT as one, or another name for that exact same semicircle would be RUT. Do you see I'm going the same way? I'm using similar letters, and those are the same arcs. Okay? So looking down here at these, we're going to be looking, I'm just going to do some of the evens here. I'm not even going to do them all. But I always find it easiest if you'll look at your circle and you identify where are all of the arcs that I know. Okay, I know this arc right here, GJ, is going to be 90 degrees because this is the center of the circle, which makes this angle, GBJ, a central angle. So we know that this arc out here is 90 degrees. I know that this arc right here, JI, is going to be the same as this angle, which is 151 degrees. So that arc is 151. I want you to see if you can't figure out the rest here. Take a second. Look right here. If this is a straight line, this angle is 90, that means this side has to be 92. Which means that this arc here, I know that yellow can be tough to see sometimes, is also 90 degrees. Okay? See if you can't figure out what this one is. That little tiny arc right here, I know all the way around the whole thing is 360 degrees. So if I want to find that little piece right there, I can add up all the pieces I know and subtract it from 360. And I'm not going to tell you that because that's one of your answers here. I'm just going to start, I'm going to look for number 4, GJ. Well, GJ is this arc, and I already just told you that that arc is 90 degrees. I would jump over here to 6, where we say H. I'm not going to do 6 because that would make me tell you what HI is, so I'm going to hang on there. Let's see what H is. GHJ. Once again, going to give that big secret up that I'm keeping. HGJ. I can't do that. HGJ. Well, that's a semicircle, isn't it? It's halfway around. So we know that that HGJ is going to be 180 degrees. 90 plus 90. That's 180. And let's look here at 12, another I. 14 is another I. So that's just how you're going to do it. You add them up, or to find like ones like this, you might do a little bit of subtraction. I think that's the only one like that. Looking down here at these, notice that it wants the answer left in terms of pi. What the heck does that mean? It means it doesn't want you to multiply pi through. I know this, the area of the circumference of a circle is either pi d, or circumference can be 2 pi r. Well, this is a radius. So I'm going to do this problem. You have, for your odd problem, a diameter. You might choose to use this formula because it has a diameter. But I'm going to go ahead and do this one. I know the circumference is 2 pi r. I'm going to use that one because they've given me a radius. So the circumference equals 2 pi times 16. Well, I can multiply 2 times 16 and I get 32. And if I want the answer left in terms of pi, I just write pi there, because pi is an irrational number. It goes on forever and ever. We don't want to multiply it through, else we have to round, which means we get a little bit of an error. Over here, circumference is going to equal 2 pi r again. Once again, I have a radius. Substitute in. And we're going to multiply. 2 times 6.8, the circumference is going to equal 13.6 pi meters. And this would be inches. I'm sorry, I didn't put my unit in. You guys do 17. Don't freak out at word problems. Draw yourself pictures. Now 19 is a little tough. I'm not going to kill you if you. I want you to take a shot at it. But number 20 is pretty easy. Reggie has a bike with a 20-inch diameter wheel. So there's my wheel for Reggie's bike, and I'm going to put an R above it so I know it's for Reggie. And the diameter of that wheel is 20 inches. And then his sister has a bike, and I'm going to put an S above her bike tire for sister, and the diameter of hers is 26 inches. Wants to know how much farther does Reggie's bike travel in one rotation. I mean, his sister's, because the diameter is bigger, this tire is going to be bigger. So how much further does Reggie's sister's bike go than his? So we got to find the circumference of both. I have diameter, so I'm going to choose to use that formula, pi d. And I know that the circumference of this is going to be 20 pi. The circumference of this is going to be 26 pi. Well, what the heck does that all mean? Well, if I type it in the calculator, which I think I had done just a little bit ago, if I type 26 pi in, what does that give me? It gives me the circumference of this one is 81.68. Now, what do they want me to round the answers to? To the nearest inch. So I'm going to round it to that whole number, so the circumference is going to be 82 inches. Over here, 20 times pi, I'm going to round to the nearest inch again, and I get 63 inches. Okay? How much further does her tire go? Because that's what they want to know. How much further? They don't want to know the circumference. They want to know how much further is she going to go. So we just have to subtract. We know her bike goes 82 inches. His bike goes 63 inches. What's the difference? 82 minus 63. The difference is 19 inches. So every time her bike goes around once, the wheels go around once, she's going to go 19 inches further. Okay? I'm sorry. This answer goes up here. This is the number 20. Not number 19. 21. 21 is very similar to that. Except it wants to know it's going to make 10 revolutions. That's an important word. Okay? The marching band has ordered a banner with its logo. The logo is a circle with a central angle of 45 degrees. If the diameter of the circle is 3 feet, what's the length of the major arc to the nearest tenth? Actually, don't do 19 or 22. I'm not going to do 22. I want you to do 21 because it's a lot like the problem I just did. Don't worry about doing 19 right now. Okay, that's all I'm going to do in this little video. This is for the first page of 10-6. Let me look and see. Maybe we can get through the back. Oh, yeah, we can do this. It says, find the length of each darkened arc. Well, it's hard to tell in these pictures. That's a darkened arc. That's the darkened arc. This is the darkened arc all the way around. Darkened arc. Darkened arc. It's kind of a weird thing to keep saying over and over and over. Okay? You can't do 26. I'm looking here to see, can you do the odd ones? Yeah. Yes. Oh. Leave these blank for now. We'll do them in class. I want you to leave these blank. Don't do 23 through 28. I just looked at them really well. And I thought they were looking for circumference, but they want to know length, and we haven't done that yet. So you can't do these 3 problems. So I'll send that out in an email. Let's see here. Oh, I think we can do this though. All right. Notice that we have vertical angles here. So if this is 40, this is a central angle, that's 40, which means this is 40, which means this is 40. I don't know if I just gave you some answers, but I probably did. Now we also know here that these 2 guys are congruent, but these 2 angles are going to be opposite of this vertical angle. If this much of it's 40, look, this whole thing is a semicircle. How many degrees is that whole big green arc I just measured? 180. So 180 minus 40, that means this arc is 140 degrees. See if you can't figure out what those little arcs are, because you're going to take 140 degrees and do what to it? This whole thing is 140. See if you can't figure out what that's going to be. Let me look here at number 30. At number 30, EAB. Oh yeah, I can do that one. EAB is going to be 140 plus 40. So I know that angle is 180 degrees. That arc is 180 degrees. 32 DYC, well, that's one of the ones I just told you need to solve for. And 34 BAD. Oh, I'm sorry, BDA. Well, the whole circle is 360 degrees. So I can take the whole circle and subtract part I know. So 360 minus that little piece that I know, and that's going to tell me the whole arc that I have left. So that's 320 degrees. Hope that kind of helps you think about these. I know it's a little confusing. We're going to go over it in class. Just do the best you can on it for your homework. I think you can do this one. This is a circumference problem. You can't do 37. You could do that. This is a diameter. What does a diameter equal? And then these 2 things added together have to equal that diameter. Oh, that's mine. 2a plus 24 plus a equals 180 degrees. So we have 3a plus 24 equals 180. Subtract 24 from 180. And I know 3a equals 156. I'm going to divide by 3. And so I know that a equals 52 degrees. Just wanted me to find the value of each variable. Hopefully that'll kind of give you a clue as to what you're doing. Remember, this is going to be 90. That's going to be a big hint here on this one. I know all 3 of these because this is the angle, but we also know it's the arc because that's a central angle. So I know 5x minus 10 plus 90 plus 5x equals, what's the whole circle? 360. So we have 10x plus 80 equals 360. So 360 minus 80, I know 10x equals 280. So x equals 28. That's finding that variable. Don't worry about 41. So I'm going to send you a little quick post about that, and that should help you know what you do and you don't need to do on 10-6. Thanks.